Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rear view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Lucky 56.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Over. Set. Blue 90. Detroit.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
So prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Gone.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Left side, it's Dorsett. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. Touchdown, Detroit! Christian Kirk, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Kyle Rudolph had his 2nd Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just 1 off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league, continues to improve as a blocker, as one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
Looking to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. So here come the Lions now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Morgan. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
On second down, Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's first and 10.
Lucky 56. Gone.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
Gone.
He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down. Almost back to the drawing board.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 13 carries, 57 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll drop the throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's the option going left on second down. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now Cook. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season. All the offseason preparation, the weight this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Complete to Dorsett. Oh, what a juke into space. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right?
Detroit!
Able to figure it out,
Detroit!
sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative
Let's
yardage,
go.
so here's
Green
2nd and 11.
Green 39! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Back 99, Philly, here we go! Over!
They'll look to throw again. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They're going to look to throw, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Let's go! Blue 90!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now let's go! Green!
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, Dorsett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Back to throw now on 1st down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up to throw. And this is incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
No, check, Patriot! Patriot! Hurry up, here we go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll hand it off now, Johnson, and they'll get him down right around the 16. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Gone!
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 44 yards out, left hash. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go. 3-19.
Again, it's Cook. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Dorsett making the catch. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now Johnson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Johnson looking to impress early on with an eye toward more carries as the Lions come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Leopard! Hurry up, here we go!
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gone, 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 gone.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now back to throw. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big gain of 38 there on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
All right, here we go. Green.
They run it again with Cook. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Philly, here we go. Set. Blue 90.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make this a second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Looking to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Now you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Vikings on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Set, 3-19.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught right side, Dixon. A gain of 39 that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about family. fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Four down. Check.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Hey, check 24. Yellow. Hey, like 80.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Scarborough. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try again with Scarborough. And shelling through the tackle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
Seen the best of them, then